Okay, so this tutorial is going to take us through landing page development on the site. It's a pretty easy thing to do. So yeah, let's just get right into it. So this tutorial is basically for anybody in managerial or basic art. It doesn't require any prerequisites except for maybe a very primitive knowledge of HTML. So if we look in here, we could see that we have a number of different landing pages. And this list is ordered from most recently created or most recently accessed to the oldest that we have. Now, you can see right here under login style, what this defines is the different type of page that we use. We have a few different types of pages, but the most common ones right now are HS clean, which there are a few derivatives of, as you can see right here, and also white, which is a different type of page that we won't be dealing with in this tutorial. Credits defines how much credit a user will receive in their account for signing up, and signups defines how many people have actually signed up for the page or for the site through that page. The slug obviously is the URL where the web page is available. So all of these are https://homesav.com/landing page name or URL slug. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of different ones right here. Now for the titles, what we tend to do is name them based on the type of page that it is. So anything that says Facebook here is obviously going to correspond to a Facebook ad. Anything that says Mama Source ad will correspond to a Mama Source ad. Anything that says white label, which you can see Mama Source Revised and Divine, are white label systems that we also won't be getting into in this tutorial. And promo are for special offers that we have for a short period of time, where we offer usually like a contest or something for the user to sign up at and have them sign up through that page. So let's just take a look at one of our basic pages here. So I guess we'll go into the David Agee landing page. So here in David Agee, you can see a couple of different things here. So like we were talking about before, the login style, which is located right here, you can see that these are all derivatives of HS clean. These top ones right here. HS clean is the most basic. It's a very common used landing page. HS clean all is a number of fields that would include the user's first and last name, their email, the password, location, things like that. Email is just the user's email and the password. Location will include the email and the password. The HS clean name, we just asked for the first and last name of the user plus the email and the password. HS full and HS SEO are deprecated pages that we no longer use. So here in the HS clean format, the background image defines what exactly we're looking at behind us, and I will show you what that is real quick on one of our standard. Actually, we'll go to the David Agee just in the nature of keeping everything consistent. So here we are. Oops, this page looks like it needs a little bit of work. Let's try a different one. Alright, so here's another standard of page, join free. Now, the background image relates to the wallpaper. So if we choose a different type of wallpaper, fundamentally, that will change what we're looking at. So let's just line these up here so we're looking at the same page.
As a note to those passengers just boarding, this train is now operating express to Pickering. This is your final call for the doors.
Huh, that's funny, that page doesn't seem to come up.
Please stand clear of the doors. The doors are closing.
So we'll just have to find it. There it is. So if we change the background image to, oh, I don't know, let's say LPBG white, and then hit update. Wait for it to update, and now if we go back to the page and reload it, you'll see that it's changed the background to just a simple white background. So that controls that component right there.
Pickering is the next station stop.
So let's put it back. This section right here, HS logo, corresponds with the type of logo that we're looking at. So right here, you can see the typical HomeSav logo located up at the top. And if we were to change this to MamaSource or WebSaver or one of these different types of logos, that would change the type of logo that we're looking at. But we're not going to do it to show you for this time because it's really not necessary unless you're dealing with a white label page. The button, what this defines is the type of login button on the page. So if we change this to, I don't know, let's say short join now magenta, and then hit update, and we refresh, you're going to see a different page. Actually, that kind of different button, that kind of looks good like that. Maybe we'll just leave it like that for now. Okay, so then the next portion that we're looking at here on the pages is the content blocks. And the content blocks will define different areas of the page. So we have 5 content blocks on any of our basic landing pages. And to look at those content blocks, we'll just break out Firebug. Whoops. So here we have, well, let's go in order. So up at the top we have this image here. That's the content header. So there's content header. If we look at content left, that's this big image right here, which fills the entire space of content left. Content right defines this section down here, which we will usually use to enter bullet points or some sort of information to get across to the user what the page is for. And then footer left, it's pretty easy to imagine at this point, is this section right here, which we'll use for logos most commonly. And then footer right, which is the last part, will be used for rotating ads or whatever other type of promotion that we have going on at the site at any time. So populating these areas of the page is pretty simple. We primarily will use images that we keep in a Dropbox public folder that can be quite easily accessed. So if you look, you can actually see the location where we're downloading this from, and subsequently you can, anywhere that you're hosting an image that you can access, you can put that URL here. So if you have it listed on PhotoBucket, or you have like a public link on Facebook, or a public link on Flickr, even though Flickr's terms doesn't really allow it, you could take that URL for the image call and put it inside these image source tags, and what that's going to do is call the image from wherever it is and then put it in the page for you. So that's how we put our landing pages together. So I'll show you how we go into the Dropbox public folder and actually take these pages out or put these images in. So if we go into Dropbox public, right here, these little folders that say LP deal with the landing pages specifically. So let's say I wanted to change the image on the left side of the page. We'd go into LP images, and here, as you can see, we have a number of different images available. I don't know, let's just try and grab one for fun here. So we'll grab the LP Mama. So what we got to do to get that image is we just right click on it, we go to Dropbox, and we're going to want to copy the public link. By copying the public link now, it copies the actual link of that image to the clipboard. So we have it in our clipboard, and we could just simply paste it inside this little section here. Now, one thing you always want to take note of is that in Dropbox, by default, it will give you just a standard HTTP, but we want HTTPS because crappy browsers like Internet Explorer that seem to globally hold back the progress of all web design will throw an error if you don't serve up a secured image. So therefore we always have to ensure that we're relying on HTTPS to do so. So if we hit update and we switch back to the page and just refresh it, now you can see that the image has changed. Now in order to get these things to display, obviously I just showed you the one portion of just the cutting and pasting. You're always going to want to make sure that you have these image tags here. Yes, so we have the open section image, the source src equals, and then in quotations we're going to put the actual link to the image. Then we want to define the height and the width just in case there's an issue with it and it's the wrong size and it goes a little bit over or under. So I'll take those out and it will probably still work. So as you can see, it just slightly changed the dimensions of the image. So we use the height and width just to ensure that that's available. To obtain the height and width of the landing page, we'll have a file, basically a README file in the Creative Assets folder that has those readily available to tell you what the dimensions of the landing page are. So that's pretty much the gist of it. Now one thing too, if we were to delete one of these image tags here and put in writing, which I'm sure you'll be tempted to do at some point, just cut that out and we'll just put content header. What's going to happen is it's just going to populate that section of the page with the raw text, as you can see. So if we wanted to configure this a little bit, we'd have to add the proper CSS rules to get it to display properly, but that we will do in another tutorial. So we'll just quickly switch that back. And there you go, landing pages 101.